Things come to a head between the two girls when Ron talks in his sleep, revealing his true feelings as he lies ill in the infirmary.
Emma's performance was so nuanced, so detailed, and so believable. I mean, your heart aches for her. She yearns for Ron and is rebuffed because he's just doesn't get it. There's such truth, and I suspect that she may have experienced that in her own life. It just comes across in such a tender and beautiful and truthful way.
You say you don't remember anything from that night? Anything at all?
There is something. But it can't be. I was completely boggled, wasn't I?
Boggled.
Typical boys, like, they'll say all of this when they're slightly drunk or slightly kind of not with it, and they'll say all of these things that really mean a lot to you, and then the next day they'll just be like, what? What did I say?
No.
Yeah, I've had experience with that myself. It's not very funny, I have to say. Not very funny.
Ron likes Hermione. Hermione likes Ron but can't quite express it, and Harry and Ron, not Harry and Ron, no, well, this is a whole thing that Joe hasn't written, but we thought we'd add just to, make the audiences a little more interested. No, there is that would be quite unexpected. Well, mind you, at the read-through, I was sitting next to Jo. She comes to each of the read-throughs, and I look at her making notes. She makes the occasional note, and she wrote this. Dumbledore had this line, and she said wouldn't say this. And as we're walking back to my office, she says, Dumbledore's gay. And I was like, oh my God.
That was a revelation for you.
That was a complete revelation.
And that's why he wouldn't have said that line.
Yeah, that's why he wouldn't have said that line.
So just to clarify, it's not Ron, but his sister Ginny Weasley who sets Harry's heart racing.
It's very complex because, of course, Ginny, as Harry's best mate's sister, it's a bit of a... It's quite a political situation between Harry and Ron. Because at the beginning of the film, Ginny's dating Dean Thomas.
Slick kid.
Obviously, well, they're only holding hands.
And Ron's not happy about that at all and saying things like, well, you've got to hate anyone who dates your sister just on principle. And so Harry's sort of going, oh, yeah.
Knowing that he has feelings for her.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's, it's quite a tricky situation, but it is a really nice part of the story.
When you read The Half-Blood Prince, did you read it and think, oh my goodness, my character ends up snogging endlessly with Harry Potter? What's that going to be like to have to film?
Yeah, I mean, when I read it, I didn't... People kind of always go, oh, did you expect that to happen? Did you always think that? And I was completely shocked when I read it, because people had already kind of read on before. Like, some of my friends were really quick at reading it, and they were like, oh, have you read this page? And I'm like, no, I haven't read that.
Harry and Ginny are getting closer, and Ron, the thought of his best friend and his sister is just not pleasant, shall we say.
Ginny and Harry are sitting on the couch, sort of having this quite sort of romantic sort of scene. I just come in and sit between them with a bowl of pies.
And we must have done it 20 times because we couldn't stop laughing. Again, because Ron sort of sat down and said, pie?
Neither of them could say the word. It was just they just laughing before they'd even said it.
So you were the one that was corpsing?
And Rupert, me and Rupert, yeah. Bonnie a bit, but not so much. Me and Rupert.
But she's
we're
professional.
We're,
Come on,
exactly,
let's face
me and
it,
Rupert
between the
are
three
pretty
of you.
terrible
Yeah.
at corpsing. Still, I mean, I've got a lot better. Rupert's awful. Still.
It does get quite annoying because I've ruined so many takes. Yeah, it's just there's no reason for it as well. It's just really annoying.
Do you end up apologising?
Oh yeah, I feel really bad because sort of the day just goes on and on and on.
Pie? Not for me, no.
You had to do those scenes where you do the kiss. What was that like?
Yeah, it was weird. It was actually the first scene that I filmed on the whole film, yeah. And
So start with the hardest and then work down.
Yeah. No, it was weird. I kind of I've never done anything kind of on film like that.
Were you able to lead her through it? The old hand that you are?
No, I didn't really. It's weird because I did something possibly slightly stupid because I sort of assumed that because I was all right, she's going to be fine. So I didn't really think she'd be nervous. Apparently, she was very nervous, and rightly so.
I think at first, like the first few takes of the rehearsals can be really weird and it is quite awkward. But then after that, it just seems weirdly kind of just normal.
You got into it?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Is he a good kisser? That's what they want to know.
And that's all they ask.
Harry needs to make the most of the good times as the darkness is closing in.
This time, I cannot hope to destroy it alone. Once again, I must ask too much of you, Harry.
Harry and Dumbledore's relationship changes in this film from being some teacher and student to a general and a foot soldier. And Harry's totally willing to do anything he can to help Dumbledore, because I think the main difference this year is that whereas before Harry's always talked about, you know, wanting to fight Voldemort, and, I'll kill him, I'll kill him, and all that. Well, he won't. But this year round, he's actually doing something towards it, and he's actually taking action under Dumbledore's instructions.
Take my arm.
What is it that Dumbledore and Harry are trying to achieve in this film? Why are they?
They're trying to achieve sort of goodness, aren't they? Trying to get rid of Voldemort, that evil pig.
Hogwarts is under threat. It's no longer the safe haven it once was. Harry does in the end find out this mysterious secret that Slughorn has been holding, and goes to tell Dumbledore, who now realizes the extent of Voldemort's evil, and he and Harry go off in search of this very vital element that could help Harry in the end overcome Voldemort.
One of the climactic scenes in the film finds Harry and Dumbledore in a vast cave, so huge that it was impossible to build a whole set large enough or find a real location. It proved to be one of the biggest challenges ever faced by the visual effects team.
The scale that he wanted to achieve was enormous, and so what we requested was a practical island to be built that the actors could work on, and the rest of it was green screen. So everything was recreated from the cave itself to the water surrounding, you know, the island and the lake they have to travel across in the boat.
How complicated was that? Because that's
because we're on a high island that's supposed to be made of ice, and it's all made of, you know, special effects stuff. Very dangerous, you skid on it. And they first of all suggested that I wear a harness. Being a proper theatre actor, I wouldn't dream of such a thing. So I spent a week up on this slippery mountain made of glass, me and Daniel.
Yes.
Being very butch, and we did very well, I think.
Normally green screen is not a problem in the slightest, but when you're having to imagine such a vast space for such a pivotal moment in the film, you do kind of start to doubt yourself and think, oh, I wonder if I'll be able to actually create this in my head.
It's amazing.
So even at this stage in your career, you still find that fascinating when you eventually see it?
Oh, yes, yeah, absolutely.
What about the process of doing it, though? Do you enjoy...
Well, that can be a pain.
Yeah.
The whole environment we've created on this particular scene is like nothing I think you've seen before.
The story unfolds to a dramatic and shocking climax, after which nothing can ever be the same again. And that's about as much as I can tell you without spoiling it. But before we go, there's one more thing you need to see, and that's my bit. Earlier in the programme, I was lucky enough to walk onto the set and into the film as an extra. And here is the finished clip.
How much for this?
5 galleons.
How much for me?
5 galleons.
I'm your brother.
10 galleons.
Come on, let's go.
Hi, Ron.
Hi.
What do you mean you missed me? Pay attention.
Come on, let's go.
There, that's me. What, you missed it again?
Come on, let's go.
Stop! Just there.
Hi, Ron.
That was so great. I can't believe it. I've been on film sets. So many film sets, so many times. I've been, for the last 3 films I've been here, to actually have a part. And one of the little kids that I had, Olivia, got really nervous. She was saying, Ben, I've got butterflies. And it started making me nervous. Even though it was 1 second of one frame, of one film, we were there. I was in it. And I'll be able to show my kids that and my grandkids that. I'll be able to look at that in 80 years' time and just see, that was me. What do you mean you missed it? And we can go back and watch it again and again. And that's just so exciting. As a fan, and as a film lover, that was a really, really, really special moment.